It's Marguerite, and I want to give you a tour of the place that I'm staying at. So I'm back in Erin. This place has gone through a transformation, totally, and is about to get another one. But before I do that, I want to share that I got this as a gift. So it's talking about the medicines in the Amazon. And I feel like I am on a shamanic journey here with so many fears coming up. So only my intimate friends have known what's really going on. But there's fear of safety, fear of death. The swing is helping me ground. So this was just filled with junk. They've had people come in and remove it, a lot of it. So we'll look over here. It all began in a garden. So part of the safety, I'll take it to my secret spot that I'm so grateful. So I'm doing my best to overlook the junk, the garbage. So there's a few conditions with the woman I am renting a room from. And this is just temporary. Oh, this bridge is funny. It's crooked. So, part of her condition is hoarding. So, I don't really know much about it. But I know when one area gets cleaned up, then there's mess and chaos somewhere else. So I'm really just doing my best to live and let live. But, oh yeah, the safety. So I put this here. Okay. So this is a blowtorch, right? This was on the back porch over in that spot there in the direct sun. That's my room there. And yeah, it says it can explode, right? In the heat. So I don't go out in the back. Oh, excuse me. I'm hiding it there because I found out that she doesn't have home insurance, and she put this wood stove on like 2 nights ago around midnight. So like it's summer. Oh geez. Yeah, it's very dark. I'm just going to bring you right into my room. My little sanctuary. So I either hang out at the porch or in my room. So it's interesting because I have a lot of friends that are coming and helping out quite a bit. So that's beautiful. I'm not unpacking. I just covered everything. Yeah. So I'm actually thinking of packing up my books. And So I know I'm definitely being a voice for the voiceless. And perhaps I will read you. I'll read you the letter I wrote. Okay, I will. It's kind of like record keeping. So I wrote this to the MPP. This is my 4th letter. I guess I can just turn you around. So Ted Arnott. Hello, Ted, or Judy. She's the woman that has been contacting me each time I've reached out to them. I think you will appreciate knowing that East Wellington Community Service, so I've been working with them, let me tell you who they are, for the past year or so. It's a non-profit social service agency that helps residents that live in Erin, Hillsborough, Rockwood, and rural areas of Guelph, Aramosa Township. So they were the ones that were helping, that got me this place. But so they did find me a temporary place to live in Erin. Unfortunately, it's in a room in a trailer, which is fine. However, the owner is an active alcoholic with a lot of trauma, which has triggered my PSTD. This whole health system scenario is just making me sicker. Because of this disgrace to live in a decent place in my own country as a tax-paying Canadian, where immigrants and refugees get the best of the best, my friend wrote a letter to the editor in the Wellington Advertiser. She, like many others, but who are afraid to speak out, are tired of the double standard. So the letter to the editor. Dear editor, I'm very disappointed by the county's inability to provide accurate housing for its residents. My friend is a resident of Erin. Right now she's suffering from trauma. Her doctor said she cannot work and is in need of housing. She's had no choice but to go on assistance to apply for disability. Most Canadians don't know that. It makes me very sad and somewhat angry that people from other countries get nice new homes and apartments to live in, all at the taxpayers' expense, while our own people, citizens who are born here, are still suffering and do not have adequate housing or services. I do not understand why the government is overextending our resources when there's so much to fix right here in our own backyards. There are still many First Nations people who do not have adequate housing or services, yet newcomers get the best of everything. Meanwhile, the globalist agenda is alive and well, pushing through public-private partnerships, further enslaving the taxpayers to the corporations. Excuse me. This is an issue that affects us all. As of right now, even our children and grandchildren will be paying off debts they never created. Sheree Ann Day from Toronto. And I put the link. And then I continue to write. I have no issues with our country and its people giving safe haven to refugees. But when I am hearing recently how desperate the housing crisis is, and especially for our youth to be somewhere safe, we shouldn't be denied any less than a refugee or immigrant. Partly why my friend wrote to the paper is because of an article that was in there a month before. And it was about the Erin refugee. And so I wrote to the Erin refugee asking if they could help me out. But of course they can't because the money that they have is tax deductible. So then I just put a piece from that article and the article link. Erin Refugee Action is planning another sponsorship, this time to an extended family from Afghanistan, a father, mother, child, and 2 grandparents. It will be treated as two families, so the total amount of money to be raised is $41,000. Harrison said the group has about $20,000 from previous fundraising and hopes for continued generosity from people in the area. I think that the so-called generous Canadians need a wake-up call as well, that there are many homeless people in Erin or in abusive situations because there's no affordable housing. That latter part is moi. I know this is in every town and city right now, which I wouldn't have even thought about or considered a year ago. Again, I'm reaching out for help. Thank you, Marguerite. Then I put PTSD causes us to have seemingly irrational terror, panic, anxiety, and or physical symptoms of fear arise when present-day circumstances trigger our emotional body's cellular memories in such a way that the initial trauma gets reactivated. Well, I've lived and been abused by alcoholics all my life, and I don't even know her, so they're so unpredictable. Like, yeah, I'm in terror a lot in this, in this space. So, they forwarded on to the Honorable Steve Clark, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing. Dear Minister, please find below an email that I received from my constituent Marguerite Brigham in regard to accessible and affordable housing in Ontario. So that email I just read to you, they've passed this on. In 2018, Ms. Brigham became ill and has not been able to work since this time and is now on a very limited budget. She's been working with East Wellington Community Services, that's that nonprofit I told you about, to help find her a suitable and affordable place to live. Due to the very limited affordable renting units available in this area, Ms. Brigham's current temporary living situation is far from ideal. Please review Ms. Brigham's situation and respond directly to explaining the government's position on this important issue. I would appreciate a copy of a reply being sent to our Wellington Halton Hills Provincial Riding Office. Thank you for your consideration. So, I'm also battling for my right to live and heal. So my purpose, being a spokesperson for the Trumpeter Swans, is definitely put on hold. But I have them here in Erin, thankfully, to go to. And there is no internet here, so I don't know when you're going to get this. But it's important to continue to tell where I am and what's going on. So, big love. Thanks for being here. Bye now.